So you're looking for information on the TOEFL IBT exam. Don't worry, because after watching this video, you'll understand everything about the TOEFL and what you need to do in order to get a really high score. Before getting on with the content though, I have a couple of things to say. First, don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you find this content useful, and don't forget also to leave us a comment if you have any questions, because we'll surely be pleased to answer. Second, if you are starting your preparation for the TOEFL, you should check out our channel, because here we have a lot of information, a lot of free resources for you to start your preparation optimally. We've got free courses, we've got recommendations, and tons of essential information not only on the TOEFL, but also on other exams such as the GMAT and the GRE. So perfect, now we can start. This video will be entirely about the TOEFL IBT. So for you to know, there are two main different types of TOEFL exams. The TOEFL IBT, which is a computer format, and the TOEFL ITP, which is a paper format. In this video, we'll be talking about the computer format, or the TOEFL IBT only. Okay, so I'm assuming that if you want to take the TOEFL, it's because you want to go study or work in a foreign country, abroad, right? Now, in order for you to understand what the TOEFL is about, you first need to understand the structure. So let's hit it. So here we have the general structure for the TOEFL. The TOEFL is made up of 4 sections. Each section can give you anywhere from 0 to 30 points for a global of 120. So basically a perfect score would be a 120. This exam can also contain some experimental questions, so the duration of the exam can actually change. But in general, it takes about 3 hours to finish the whole exam. So the first section is the reading section, which you will have to read some articles and then you will have to answer some questions about them. The second section is the listening section. You will listen to some conversations and lectures and then you will have to answer some questions about them. The third section is the speaking section, the most feared section, which you will have to either read something or listen to some audio, and then you will have to either summarize it or report it or give your opinion about it. And the last section is the writing section, in which you will have to write 2 essays. As far as how you can take the TOEFL, as of now, the TOEFL could be taken in 2 versions. The first version is in person, taking the exam at a testing center, which was the most conventional way up to 2 years ago. So basically what you do is you go to a computer laboratory, a testing center in your own city, in your own country, and take the exam in there. Okay? What happened 2 years ago though was that because of the lockdowns all around the world, the TOEFL implemented a new version called the TOEFL Home Edition, which is basically an online TOEFL that you can take at home. In some countries that still have a problem with COVID transmission rates, the TOEFL Home Edition is the only way you can take the TOEFL. So before you start your preparation, it'll be good for you to find out which TOEFL is available in your city. Okay, so now that you know the general structure, let's look at each section more closely. So we're going to start with the first section, which is the reading section. So for the reading section, again, the score goes from 0 to 30. Okay, so 30 is the maximum score you could get in this section. You will get 3 passages with 10 questions each, for a total of 30 questions. You will get 80 minutes to read and answer the questions for each of the passages, which means you get 54 minutes for the whole section. In regard to the topics of the passages, all of the passages are academic. Most of the passages will be about biology, history, etc. The level is very similar to that of a textbook for a first-year student in college, for a freshman. So here we have some treats for you. First of all, if you want to get some free reading exercises for the TOEFL, we've left a link in the description below. Okay, so you can download the PDF with free exercises for the reading section of the TOEFL. Also, if you want to see how a reading exercise is like and how you should solve it, we have that section on this video, so find the timestamp on the video. It's almost at the end of the video, and go there to see the live example of this question. And treat number 3, we also have a free reading lesson for you. We've left at the description below. So go to the description, go to that link, and you'll be able to watch our free lesson for the TOEFL reading. That's more than enough for you, not only to start your preparation, but also to get really good at the TOEFL. So now we go to the second section, listening. Now the listening section is the second section for exam. There are two different types of passages. The first ones are conversations, in which you will listen to a conversation between two people, usually a university student and a faculty member. The other type of listening passage would be a lecture. It's basically a very short class lecture in which the professor will be discussing an academic topic. Normally, you will get 2 conversations and 3 lectures in the whole exam. However, this number may vary. For each conversation, you will get 5 questions, and for each lecture, you will get 6 questions. You will get a total of 57 minutes for the whole section. That includes also the time to listen to the audio. Now, to put this more into perspective, you actually get around 30 seconds for each question. Again, we have some treats for you. If you want to get some free listening exercises, go to the link in the description below, okay? Now, also, if you want to see how a real listening question looks like, just find that section on the video. In this video, go to the timestamp, it's almost at the end, and go see how we solve a real listening exercise. And treat number 3, we also have a free listening lesson. Okay, so you'll find the link in the description, and there you have everything you need in order to ace this section of the TOEFL. Now, this is the part most people have waited for, okay? The most challenging section on the TOEFL for most foreigners, for most international students, the speaking section. So there are 4 questions in the speaking section. The first question is an independent question, meaning that you will just need to give your opinion. And the other 3 questions are integrated, in which you will have to either read or listen to an audio, or a combination of both, and you will have to do something with that information. So the first question is an independent question. You will get a question usually asking you to choose between 2 things, and you will need to give your opinion in 45 seconds. The second question is called a campus notice question, which is integrated. Basically, you will read a short notice, and then you will listen to an audio of 2 people talking about the notice. Then you will need to give your answer for 1 minute. The third question is called general specific. It's also an integrated question. You will first need to read a short academic article, and then the professor in the audio will be talking about that article, usually giving more examples. And the fourth question is an integrated question. You will listen to an audio, which is basically a very short lecture on an academic topic, and then you will need to summarize that audio in 1 minute. So there you have it. Overall, the speaking section is the shortest in the exam, but it's also the most challenging. Believe me, it haunts. It's the boogeyman for most people, okay? Everybody's afraid of speaking. But you shouldn't be. First of all, because we've got a free speaking lesson, okay? So you just go to the link in the description and you'll be able to watch our whole free lesson for speaking. Second, because here you'll also get some free exercises for the TOEFL speaking section. Just go to the link in the description and practice with them. Now, what I recommend that you do also is go to the end of the video, find the timestamp when I'm solving a real speaking exercise, so you know what to do when you face one. And the final section is the writing section, okay? That's it. Finally, the writing section has 2 questions. The first one is the integrated essay. First, you're going to read a little article, an academic article, and then you will listen to an audio in which the professor will be discussing something about that article. Most of the time, the professor will be countering the arguments made in the article. And then you'll have 20 minutes to write an essay showing the relationship between the audio you heard and the article you read. The second question is an independent essay in which you will need to give your opinion or a preference about a certain topic. You will have 30 minutes to come up with an essay to make your opinion clear and also to support it. So that's it. Basically, you have the 4 sections and you've got everything you need in order to ace the exam. But now here, one of the most important parts of the video, tips and recommendations. Tip number 1, practice with less time, okay? And I say this after having helped over 1,000 students on the TOEFL alone, okay? Now, why practice with less time? Because you have to understand time is one of the most challenging things on the exam. When you start doing an exercise without a time limit, you feel good, you feel confident, you're not stressed out. But once we put a constraint, then you start stressing out, then you start getting tense, you see? So that's what happens to everybody. Now, in order to solve this, what I do with my students, we start practicing with less time. For example, for the writing section, you've got 20 minutes to finish an integrated essay and 30 to finish an independent essay. So we'll reduce those times, and when we practice, during the whole preparation, what I do is I set the times 18 and 28. 18 and 28 instead of 20 and 30. Okay? So you feel more pressed, it's more challenging, but that will make you stronger. So on the day of the actual exam, you'll feel comfortable. 20 minutes will be allowed for integrated and 30 also plenty of time for the independent essay, okay? Because believe me, when you are taking the real exam, the real TOEFL, you're not gonna feel the same way you do when you practice home alone, okay? The nerves get the better of you, of most people. Okay, now everybody should know themselves how they behave under nerves, but normally when people are nervous, they don't perform the same way they normally would. So of course this is different among people. There are some people who can tolerate stress better than others, but in my experience after helping hundreds of students, I can tell that definitely most of them get nervous and they don't perform the same as they do when they are practicing. So definitely the solution is easy, just play with the time limits and you'll solve this problem. Tip number 2, make sure that the material you're practicing with, the exercises you're practicing with are top quality and are recent, okay? Why recent? First start with recent first because the TOEFL made changes 2 years ago, in late 2019, okay? So if you are practicing with a book that is older than 2019, what's gonna happen is you're gonna find different questions that will not come in the actual exam and they will have different times overall. So just find material that has been produced after 2019. That's the main recommendation. And quality material, why? Because, oh my God, I see so many exercises, so much free material, free resources, right, on the internet. People are always looking for free resources, okay? And that's not bad, okay? But you need to be really careful. Why? Because most of these resources, they are not up to the standards of the TOEFL. So sometimes when I find exercises on the internet, most of them are too easy. They are not like the real exam. And some of them are even too hard. So they are gonna either deter you from taking the TOEFL or they're going to press you more than you need to be pressed. So you need to make sure to get your resources from a reputable vendor, okay? So just be really careful with the exercises you practice with. Don't just go on the internet and find any exercise in there because chances are that it's not gonna help you out too much. Now, if you truly wanna play it safe and find exercises that are the same quality as the real exam, just go to the ets.com website because the ETS is the maker of the TOEFL, okay? So they sell on their website a lot of material, a lot of resources, official guides, question packages, etc. that are the same level as the TOEFL and they're top quality. Recommendation number 3, practice makes the master. The TOEFL is a lot about practice, not so much about theory, okay? Not so much about theory. A lot of people, when they get into TOEFL classes, they're expecting theory, they're expecting to take notes, etc. Yeah, you have to take notes, but you have to take notes about how things are done. So basically, especially the speaking and writing sections, they're purely practice, okay? You have to memorize the templates, then you have to go over and over. A good preparation, a good structure, what they'll do is they'll listen to you, how you talk, okay? How you do these exercises, and they'll try to fix it right there. They'll tell you this A, B, and C are wrong. You're making A, B, and C mistakes, okay? And over, after pressing the student, they'll make them change. And they'll make them fix those mistakes, okay? That's what the TOEFL is about. It's not so much about learning theory, okay? At the early stages, you can learn theory though. But if you come to the TOEFL preparation to learn theory, to learn how to use tenses, to learn something about pronouns, that's not optimal because that's something you should have learned before. That's something you should have learned on your regular English classes. For example, if you have problems using the present perfect, like I have done my homework, or using the past perfect, they had gone to the store by the time you arrived. Something like that, that's so easy, and you come to the TOEFL to learn that, I don't think that's optimal because that's something you should have done before. So maybe, if you want, let's say you want 100, right? You want to get 195 on the TOEFL and you don't know your perfect tenses, maybe you are not ready yet to take TOEFL classes, okay? Maybe it's better for you just to take English classes first, and when you are a little bit more prepared, have a better level, a higher level, then take your TOEFL classes, okay? Because the TOEFL should be focusing 100% on practice. A part of advice, and of course, By me saying that the TOEFL is 100% practice, it implies that it needs to be very intense, but you also need to put a lot of effort to practice every single day, okay? Especially if you're not too proficient with the English language. You need to practice every single day to do exercises, tons of exercises, so the templates are interiorized, so you know them off the top of your head, okay? So that's basically what you need to do. So yeah, you're gonna need a lot of time to practice for the TOEFL and get a really high score. And recommendation number 4, this is a question I get asked a lot. A lot of entering new students don't really have this concept clear, and it's regarding the accent, okay? The accent. Now, whether you need an American accent in order to get a high score, and the answer is no. Be careful with the accent, okay? My belief is this: if you are struggling with English, you should not focus on the accent. You should focus on diction and fluency, okay? So let's say if you say mountain, or if you say mountain, it doesn't matter, all right? Nobody cares about it, okay? Now, the TOEFL will grade you in the speaking section for fluency and clarity. So basically, whatever you're saying needs to be clear, needs to be understandable. Another person should be able to understand it, okay? And that has to do with diction. You need to open your mouth when you talk. You need to kind of, don't eat the vowels, don't eat the consonants. You're going to tell them that natives eat their consonants all the time. Yeah, they do, but they know how to speak, okay? If you're struggling to speak, if you don't really know how to speak too well, then you shouldn't do it, okay? Until you have a higher level. Now, the problem is this, that so many people put so much brain power on accent, okay? They care so much about accent that they take brain power away from fluency. And fluency, in my opinion, is the most important criterion for the TOEFL rubrics, for the speaking section, okay, in order for you to get a high score in speaking. So fluency means to be able to structure your sentence accordingly, not change in the middle of a sentence, right? So many people like kind of, they fix a sentence when they're in the middle of it, okay, because they haven't thought about the whole sentence before, okay? And also to be able to speak without too many holes, without stopping too much, okay? So you should focus more on that rather than to have a clear accent. Now, just think about this. If the TOEFL graded you for the accent, that would be discriminatory because so many people all over the world have different accents. And some of them still manage to get a good score on the TOEFL. So the accent doesn't matter too much. The most important thing is that whatever you're saying is clear. And in order for you to know this, what I would say is the first thing you need to do, where's my phone here now? So what you're going to do is you're going to take your phone and you're going to use a speech recognition software built in. Use Alexa, use Siri, whatever you want to use. Google something using your voice, okay? And you're going to say a short sentence, something like, I want to go buy a car the day after tomorrow. Something like that. If every word has been detected by the software, it means that you're speaking clear. If you see that some words are not what you said, then you need to improve your speech. So maybe you need to open your mouth more, you need to overemphasize more words, you need to cut those consonants at the end. There are several things that could be the problem, okay? If you want to know more about this, just go to our free speaking lesson and I'll give you more tips. But the important thing is that this is a good way to measure your speaking level. Okay guys, so here we're going to start with the live examples, all right, for each of the sections. So let's start with reading. Reading will be the first section. So as you can see here, I've got a reading question. I've had a passage on the right. I have my question on the left. And then, for example, this one is what we know as a vocabulary question. Okay, so here they're asking me for the word fixed. I'm going to go here and say his original skill had 2 fixed points. I don't even need to read the other parts. 2 fixed points. 2 fixed points means that those points have been established. Okay, so basically I find the word established here, right? It cannot be attached because it's not like they are. Attached is more like when something doesn't belong in there and you are just adding something. These points have been added. Repaired means to fix something, right? But fix something that has broken down. Here we have nothing that has been broken down. Ordered is organized, is to give an order, right? From 1 to 2 and then try to change it. Arranging. We're not arranging anything here, so definitely it's established. I'm gonna go here. So this one is, for example, which of the following is not true about the Celsius scale? All right, something that's not true. That's a difficult question. Why? Because first of all, they don't give us a paragraph the answer should be in. And also because this one is an inference question. So basically the information, it's not stated, it's not written down here on the passage. It's basically going to be just interpreted. I have to interpret this information, okay? So something like, let me do this one, and then we're gonna go to the next section. So here we have the temperature, not about the Celsius scale. So where do they talk about the Celsius scale? This one here, paragraph 3, the scale that is in use, that's Celsius, okay. Something that's not true. Let me read that here. When something is negative, I try to read the answer choices first. Was developed by an astronomer from Sweden. Okay, it was developed by Celsius. Okay, Swedish astronomers. So this one is true, so I'm not going to choose A. It came into use in the 18th century. On the term, let me here into use, 18th century, right? Now in 1948, 18th century means 700s. Okay, so let me see. Countries is a Celsius scale. It came into use. That base developed. It was developed in 1741. I don't know if it came into use then, but it was developed now. And then let me see where we can find more years, more dates. On the thermometer, I'm sorry, 0 was used to indicate the boiling temperature of water. Okay, after his death, the scale was reversed by a friend. And okay, I'm not sure about that. I'm gonna leave it. Number 3, 100 degrees separated freezing and boiling temperatures. Here they talk about that, right? 0 was used to indicate the boiling temperature of water. 100 was used to indicate the freezing temperature of water. Then you have a friend who says that he reversed them. But yeah, the 100 temperature mark kind of remained, right? So that one's true. So I'm not gonna choose that one. Okay, 0 indicated the temperature at which water freezes. Okay. 0 indicated was used to get the boiling temperature of water. Okay. Versus that, the scale was reversed. Achieved the claim that linear classification on the new scale, the reversal indicated the freezing temperature of water. Now, I think here the answer should be B. Okay, because I don't have no information about that. Now, the answer could also be it's between both those two. Why this one? Because when they say indicated is in the past, right? So basically that's before the friend reversed it. Okay, so the original one, this one would be false, right? So I'm gonna go with D here because I think that's a much better answer. We could interpret it came into use because the friend was in the 1700s also, right? 18th century, the friend who reversed it. So he has to use the scale, and definitely the scale came into use at the time, okay? So I'm gonna go with this one. Okay, so in the first one, of course, I got it right. Okay, I got it right, of course, because the fixed points means established, so that one's fine. On the second one, I got it right too, it's D. Why? Because of course they mentioned that originally 0 indicated the boiling temperature of water, not the freezing temperature, okay? And they're referring to the original scale. Now you've seen how I solved these 2 reading questions. Now, if you want to know more about this, just go to our free reading lesson, guys, okay? Go to the free reading lesson. You'll find the link in the description below, okay? Don't be lazy. Go in there and you'll find everything you need about reading, the reading section of the TOEFL. And we're going to go more into detail on how to answer questions.
Listen to a conversation between a student and a professor.
Hi, Professor Harley?
Okay, guys, I won't be able to show you the audio of the conversation here on the video, okay? But what I want you to do is pause the video and just go to the link in the description. You'll find the audio in the link in the description below. Okay, so listen to that audio and then answer the questions with me so you know what a real listening passage in the TOEFL, in this case a conversation, sounds like.
I'm sure you'll appreciate it later.
Okay.
Why does the student go to see the professor?
So we're gonna do this one. I remember I have here my notes, and he goes to see her because he wants to ask for to postpone the homework, right? That he wants to turn it in after the wedding. Let's see. Getting married? No. Permission postpone? Yep, exactly this one. C. Okay, so that's how you do it. It's very easy. Listening is very easy. Okay, as long as you have good notes.
What excuse does the student use?
What excuse does he use? He's not getting married. Actually, his brother is getting married. He has an important family event. That could be the due date. No. The project. No. Later. This one. Okay, this one here. So That's what listening is about. Okay, and those two, I'm pretty sure those are correct because they are very easy. So now you've seen how I solve these listening questions. So if you want to see more, if you want me to go more into details here, just go to our free listening lesson. Okay, the link is in the description. Okay, so do it right now. I want you to do it right now if you have problems with listening. Don't wait. Don't postpone things like this guy. Okay, only losers do that. So do it right now. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the third section, which is speaking.
Have a piece of paper and pen ready to take notes. In this question, you will be asked to give your opinion about a familiar...
Okay guys, so here I'm going to take the first task, the first question for speaking, which is the open question called independent. They're going to ask me for my opinion on a certain topic, especially they're going to give you two options or something like if I agree or disagree with a statement. Okay, so I get 15 seconds to prepare my answer and 45 to speak.
Do you agree or disagree with the following statement? Having a lot of money is very important. Use reasons and examples to support your response.
Okay, so I have 15 seconds to prepare, guys. Let's see. Oh my God. Let's go.
Begin your response.
Although some people might think that having a lot of money is important, I believe otherwise for the following reasons. First, because if you have a lot of money, it comes with a lot of obligations and actually might make you a sad and angry person. For example, if you buy a big mansion, then you have to pay a lot of taxes and you will have to work even more, and that will stress you out. Second, because there are several things that you cannot buy with money. For example, if you want a big family, people who love you, friends, etc., money might not be enough. Actually, money might prevent you from spending time with the people you love because you have to work more all the time. For those reasons, I think that money is not important. Okay, so you saw, guys, my answer was very far from being perfect. Okay, it was not a perfect answer, but it's more than enough to get a high score. Okay, so if you want to know more about this, if you want to learn the structure I used in order to provide my answer, if you want to know what things you have to do in order to get a high score, all of that is in our free speaking lesson. Okay, you'll find all of that information in there, so just go to the description. Don't be lazy, okay? If you have problems with speaking, you better start right now. So go to the description, you'll find all the material you need there. Free exercises, more live examples, and also a lot of tips and tricks for you to get a high score on the TOEFL speaking. And of course, the most important thing with speaking is structure. So you must practice the structure over and over for it to sound natural and to sound to be fluent. Okay, so now that we've seen the speaking section, we have one more section to go to, which is the writing section. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the writing section. I'm going to show you one exercise for the writing section. Okay, so here is an independent writing. I have 30 minutes to write it. Okay, 30, that's a lot of time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to write it faster, as fast as I can, and you can see how I write. So what are they asking here? Have 30 minutes. You can see that the time is starting to run right now, right? What is your approach to problem solving and how does it work for you? All right, that's a very open-ended, that's a very broad question, very general, right? Use details and support. My approach is problem solving. That's a difficult question, actually. So I'm gonna start with my outline. Okay, so first, what's my first thing? My position first. Position. Problem solving to talk to experts. Okay, first, because experts have more experience. Okay, and then I'm gonna write something about they have more experience, and that's gonna help me spend less time finding my solution. Okay, Then second, I'm gonna say something like, how does it work for me? Okay, second, experts can see, right? Things, can see ways to solve a problem from different perspectives. I'm an economist, so I'm going to say as an economist, I evaluate things on a, on a return on investment kind of perspective, from a perspective like that perspective, while other people might have other skills, such as I'm going to say something like soft skills, right? And third, what is my third paragraph going to be about? Now I want to write here close to 400 words. Okay, that's what we want to write. I mean, really at least 400 words. Okay, but I'm going to write something close to 400 words. I have the word count here. So third, I'm going to say because experts can see ways, because experts have more experience, because experts sometimes have the licenses, have the tools necessary to make things happen. All right, I'm gonna change that later because this is an outline. If you go to our free reading lesson, we're gonna teach you how to make an outline, and then how from that outline you write the whole thing. And now you're gonna see me employing this. But if you don't understand what I'm doing, then just go to our free reading lesson, because we have tons of tips and tricks. Okay, don't be lazy, don't be a loser, don't wait. Okay, just go there, and I'm gonna continue writing right now. So make things happen. For example, if I want to sue somebody, I can't do it, right? I can't. I have to hire a lawyer. All right. So that's why I mean, even if I know the law, all right, even if I know what to do, I don't have the tools because I don't have my license. I don't have my I'm not bar, right? So that kind of thing. Okay, so I'm going to start here with the first paragraph. First of all, why I do first of all? Because I want to have more words, right? Okay, first of all, experts have way more experience than me. Okay. Good guys, so I don't want to bore you too much. I'm writing 10 minutes. I have 280 words. I'm still missing the introduction, the conclusion. Just let me finish the third paragraph, which is my third body paragraph. I want to get close to 300 in there. Help of a lawyer who says providing is misspelled. Providing guidance can represent me in a court of law. Okay, so now if you've watched my video on how to write a good essay, all right, for the GMAT or for the TOEFL, or if you go to our free TOEFL lesson, you'll find out, you'll discover the best way to add words. So I'm gonna start adding words here just to get to close to 350. Then I still have to write the introduction, the conclusion. Okay, so that's been it. I know this video will be of great help to you. Okay, now don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you found this video useful, and also click on the notification bell so you can receive a notification every time we upload a new video. Okay, and you don't miss out on anything. Now don't forget to leave us a comment also and hit on the thumbs up. Okay, now share this video with your friends also, because if it was useful for you, most likely it will be useful for several of your friends also. So basically, now that you've watched this video, you understand everything you need to do on the TOEFL exam to get a high score. Okay, so my name is Rod, I'm with Liberty, and thank you for watching.